Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mind Vision Radio. We gon' keep bringing these things like this here. I'm so tired of being sick and tired, seeing all of the fuckery going on around me, seeing things from a whole nother path. Now I'm seeing all my civilians out there taking blood baths. Now I'm thinking about things that's calculated, manipulated, strategy with military-minded thoughts. Walk that white line, get your body lined out in chalk. These roots is deeply rooted. Hello, America. You have been in debt to these slaves. From dust to the spoken age. Mind Vision Radio, we here now. I'ma bring the truth, cause I'm deeply rooted in the spirit of the Most High. Y'all thinking about seeing the sky. I'm so highly elevated, mind stay levitated. Shoot for the moon, you can still be amongst them stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Mind Vision Radio. Let's get into it tonight. We got a heavy topic to get into. We want to touch this systemic racism that's been going on for decades and centuries alone. And it's time to pay the piper. So, let's talk about it. We have been a lot of things happening here in these past few days, or should I say these past few months in 2020. So, with all that being said, it seems to me like the melanated being has been on the defensive since the entirety of the conception of these United States of America. At some point, we're going to have to get into playing some type of offense. Now, I don't agree with defunding the police, but I do think some things need to be adjusted in those type of areas, okay? My main thing is, at some point in this lifetime, you have to acknowledgement a debt need to be paid to these descendants of slaves. That is a must. That is the only reason why we here. Because if it was equality all across the board, now we ain't just dealing with, police shooting melanated beings down. We ain't just dealing with just that. That's just a tactic that they use that's always worked. But if we really want to look down deep into it, we have to go back into the finances, the economics behind all of this. The equal opportunity to the melanated beings across this land. We haven't been getting that here in the United States of America, people. We've been getting more of the we'll get you up next time type thing. So come this November, we have a so-called election here. Now, I don't know if that may take place. There's a lot of things that's in this pot. Now, check this out. Now, this is for all of my Southern people and for all my people that like to eat good. Now, what we looking at is what I call a pot of gumbo. Okay. Now, the gumbo consists of a lot of different ingredients to get the gumbo. Now, let me get into more of what I'm really talking about. Now, in this gumbo, we have systemic racism, which means the pot. Then you get the ingredients involved in that. Jim Crow. Then you get the lack of economic funding, the education funding, spirituality, historic contents of melanated beings across the planet, and even here in the United States of America. So when we go into this gumbo, now you have to let that thing cook for a while in order for them flavors to all pop together. So sit back, get your cups ready, light your joints, and we're going to get into it. This is Mind Vision Radio. And the main thing that we have to, stop tiptoeing around and actually really get into straight action at this point. Because like I said, every individual have a role to play. Now, your role is going to look totally different than someone else's. So you can't sit back and say the things that you're doing or the things that you're not doing doesn't matter. It's not truthful. It does matter. You all play a part. That's the reason why I said self-preservation first. You have to do your part. So now, I want to speak to my black people real quick. Now, it's one thing of playing the victim, and it's another thing of playing defense and offense. Now, we've been on the defensive for a long time. So you cannot fight racism, white supremacy with the same continuous behavior. Now, what am I talking about? Behavior in a such manner where you're consuming the same things that's enslaving you. So instead of buying Michael Jordan tennis shoes and 24-inch rims, where's your life insurance policy at? Where's your health checkup at? Where's money in your savings account? Where's your silver? Where's your gold? Where's your garden? Where's tools to be able to create? Because the only way we getting out of this mess is to be creators, producers. Where's your content? We're not going to be able to outshine the Gucci store. We just ain't gonna be able to do it. We ain't gonna even be able to get into the context on why in the hell were we out here buying $200 pair of shoes when you ain't got that in your goddamn bank account. It don't make sense. I understand you want to be sharp. I understand you want to make a statement. But it's a better way of doing that. Especially from here on out. And this is how we finna separate the strong from the weak. It's time to start doing our own inventory on the things that's going to be tolerated and the things that's not going to be tolerated. Because we all have seen it at this point. Ain't no not saying you didn't know. Especially with the social media that's going on out here. It's a lot of information out here that you can get the damn truth. So it's no more excuses anymore. It's time to come and have a meeting with yourself. That's right at the top. Because there's no way in the world that we can sit back and can continue to let this thing go on without checking ourselves first. I understand that we have been dealt some gumbo. We have been dealt some gumbo. And for all my people out there that eat that gumbo, now we understand that that gumbo could be a little bit spicy. It could be a little hot, depending on who's making it. Now, we also need to think about that it's strategies and manipulations that goes on into what we're basically seeing on a day-to-day, especially if you out here tuning into the television. Now, they're there to make distractions, to keep people going, keep them on a low vibration, keep them out here thinking about all the dumb shit that's going on out here. Keep racial tensions in the air. Keep the people divided. Republican, Democrat, white, black, Jews, Muslims, Christians, LBTs. All this is a distraction to the common goal. Now, everybody want a role to play, but it's not your time right now. It's not your time. What we see happening right now in these streets is a lack of opportunity amongst the many. That's the reason why they out there. They ain't out there really for black folks for real. Let's keep it real. Some out there for their own personal agendas. And we had to put the spotlight out on that. So when I look at all of these different organizations that is coming to the forefront in the rescue of we finna save the black folks from the boogeyman. No. I don't know what your agenda is. Who's sponsoring you? Because you just came out the woodworks. Because you can see that they're not going to let a good crisis go to waste. So all I'm telling you is this. All of the getting sharp and trying to finesse cars and things of that nature, killing one another, it's a backseat for that. That would not be tolerated. So, let's move on. Because this gumbo take a while to cook. And it's been cooking. They've been using the same ingredients. So, how do we get on the offense? That's what we need to be talking about. How we get on the offense. We've been playing defense all our lives. That's the reason why you hear stories of it seems like black people are angry. We mad. The angry black woman. You have to understand, being on the defensive since the day of conception in the womb will take a toll on a group of people. We talking about from the womb. And we come out and we see this. We was feeling it at one point. We was feeling it through mama. That's like when I was up in Denver last year. It was I think I was like 9,000 feet up in the air doing some shit I ain't never done before. Guess what I was doing? I was calling for my mama going up the mountains. That's what we do. So I hear you, George Floyd. You call for your mama. Because she'll hear you in these spirits. Just like our ancestors. So our ancestors is telling us to put down the Gucci bags, the Coach bags, the showboating, the J's, all these different hairstyles going wild. Everybody want to be seen. But you have to understand, in order to be liberated, you're going to have to change some things in your brain that's going to cause you to maintain. You got to do some things different. You got to let some things go. You got to let the TikTok go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not on there promoting anything that's going to have anything to do with the productivity and the uplifting of society in a great way, you don't need to be on there. And that's a fact. So, the conversation. We're no longer having a conversation. We're having demands. Now, we done seen the United States cut billions in bailouts to major corporations that is not employed highly of African American people. They have a few, but we got to look at the few positions that they have in these corporations. Now, if we want to get down to what we can do about this here, we can start with exactly like I said. Let's get back to the gumbo. We need the ingredients. We need the ingredients. We tired of tasting it. We know what it tastes like. We need to be at the table when these decisions are being made, when it come down to equality, especially when it come down to economics. That's number one first. I understand the police brutality. I get it. But the only way to understand the real problems that's happening here in America is we have to go back to race. Society has locked out groups of people for allowed to be transferred generational wealth. And that's the real problem. We have been locked out of transferring generational wealth to our children. That's what's happening. So it's a perfect time for reparation. It's long overdue. So I want to conclude this because I don't want to make this too long. I want to conclude this to this. It's nowhere in the world that if you haven't seen it and you didn't think it was going on, you've been blind all this time, eyes wide shut. You just didn't want to know. So, now, where would he go from here? I'm demanding every citizen that's gonna hear this on the sound of my voice, stop contributing to multi-million-dollar companies that's not gonna stand up for the systemic racism that's been happening all over the country. This is what needs to be done. Reparations is needed. It's a debt that's been owed to us over generations. And since they've been cutting all these checks to these multi-million, billion-dollar companies, I think we deserve ours. I know we deserve ours because we done built that. And it's time to pay up. So, but how is that all going to play into play when the economy's looking very rough right now? It's a perfect time to give it to them. What is 200,000 going to do when you already indebted again? Come on now. To my people, we got to get off the defense. We got to start doing offensive work here. We got to set some plays up and actually run them. They've been dumbing us down from the beginning. They've been keeping us at a low vibration for too long. It's time to raise your vibration. Because everything that they're putting out is always low frequency things. It has nothing to do with our higher self. There's a lot of things going on, true indeed. But there's some positive things that are happening out here. And for them to keep showing melanated beings being lynched and gunned down, that's the only to keep us in the mind state of being dumbed down, making it seem like we don't have another way. Of course, it's another way, but you're going to have to get on the offense. You can't play defense all game for all my football players out there, all my basketball players out there. You can't play defense all game. At some point, you're going to have to score. I remember a long time ago, my auntie told me a long time ago. She said, hey, you can't always play catcher. You got to throw some of them things back. I ain't understand it then. How you doing, T? Hope everything good out there with you. But the things that are happening is because we have neglected a race of people for so long to a point where the hands or the spirit of the Most High God has lifted his whole blessings off this United States of America. This is why you see what's happening out there in them streets. That's what it is. The people wonder why it's going on. You didn't think it was going to be that way. But the people who think they're controlling this thing here, you're not. It's time for the people to basically get off the damn defense. And this is all races. Get off the defense and get on some offense. Because everybody has played a part into the systemic racism that's been going on in these United States of America. Everybody has played a part into it, including black people. So, to all my young people out there, it's another way. It's another way you can be heard. Like I say, use your social media platform to speak things that's positive. Use your social media platform to show things that seem that couldn't be done. Use your social media platforms to start organizational groups so we can talk about these things before we start to reacting to them. Not everybody's going to make this here journey, because dark days are ahead here in these United States of America. So, no matter what race you want to claim, dark days are ahead. It ain't got nothing to do with trying to bring any type of fear mongering or anything of such. If you look at what is happening from a spiritual eye, you would be able to get through this here. I ain't gonna say unscathed, but you'll be able to walk through a storm. It ain't about getting wet. It's all about getting through it. So I'm telling everybody right now, if you're not prepared for the things that's finna go take place, 40 million people, I know I'm getting off subject here. 40 million people is not out of a job just for no reason, people. This has been planned. This has been orchestrated. The American people have now just found out that they have been robbed, bamboozled, hoodwinked to a point now they want to jump on the back of the next movement, the next trend that's out there, planned and orchestrated and manipulated. So happily, it was George Floyd, Rashad Brooks, Ahmaud Arbery, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. I can keep going. Them the ones that they show us. They ain't even talking about the ones that don't make the news. That's what I'm saying. This stuff been going on since the conception of the United States of America. So, America, you have been indebted to these slaves. And it's time to pay up. Ain't no more talking about it. All of my people is out there. Please get informed on what the truth is. Because once you open your eyes and to see what's been really going on out here, you've been made to hate yourself. You've been made to hate everyone else around you. All to lead you to the root of all evil. Now, this is what they said in the Bible. The Bible said, for the root to all evil is money. That's why the people out here in the streets tearing up things. Because the root to all evil is money. Especially how they got it. You got to think. We're going back to the gumbo. How did they got it? Of misusing and abusing the less fortunate people. So they say. So every congresswoman, every congressman, you have a duty to do. And if you don't, the blood is on your hands. I done said mine and I'm done. This is In My Mind. Vision Radio. Much love. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And we coming again with some more videos. I'm out.